Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Love you guys. Thanks for coming on over today. I hope you're having a really good day. In this video, I've got a few things that I've been working on, some suggestions that I've done from the other video I did on my brights, on what to do with my brights paper, and also what I am working on for the month of August of 2021 for my mini glue book. So let me, first of all, thank you for the ideas that came through on what to do with my brights, on my bright cardstock. So one of them was to get my die cutter out and make some die cuts. And so I made a few. And this can actually be used as well. So, you know, that could be put in a big glue book, and all of these little cutouts can also be put in a big glue book. And, oh, I'm not done with this piece of paper yet, you know, kind of a thing. But yeah, so I made some die cuts, and when they're this size, it's easy to make them how you want them. So for this one, I took some not alcohol inks, that's coming up, hold on. Took some distress ink and just, you know, zhuzhed it up a little bit, you know, got it a little bit dirty and messy, and that can be used for something else. I can doodle on these, and yeah, I can make these into a lot of fun things. So that was one thing that I did. And then I could also make die cuts out of this if I wanted to, but I kind of like how it all came out. This is the tissue paper that I found from the Dollar Tree, and this is on the orange paper. So I think that turned out pretty good. This could be used in a lot of different ways. I could see this being a book cover. Wouldn't that be pretty? Just for a small book. Would have to do something with the inside, but again, that can be covered up with tracing paper or some of the packaging paper that you get from Amazon or whatever. So that's something fun, and got a little wrinkled in it, but that's cool, you know. Or I could just cut them up individually, you know, and make their own flowers be usable for something else, because it is sturdy cardstock. So, or a backdrop for something else. So yes, lots of things. Tissue paper, that was one thing that idea came through. This is also tissue paper, very plain, but it was the tan tissue paper in a big pack, and I don't know if I bought that at the Dollar Tree or not, but you can get it anywhere. But this is on the yellow paper. I had some bright yellow, and I think that looks good. That is definitely usable. I can see a lot of different applications for this. So that was an easy way to make this brights usable. And on pink, this is the lighter pink tissue paper, and then I just took a stamp that's one of my old favorites, the swirls. I have a swirls selection, and I really love those stamps, but that's on the pink, and I think that is definitely usable. I think that's really pretty. Again, another cute little book cover. And then you put a plate on it of some sort. Totally usable. And so those ideas came through, and my alcohol inks, a gal asked me if I had alcohol inks, and I do. I have a small selection, and then these are regular inks too. That came in a bag of art supplies, you know, one of those surprise bags at Goodwill. And so yeah, whoa, this lid did not get back on. Oh, that's not good. That's still liquidy. Okay. So yeah, I just have a small selection of alcohol inks. You know, I thought, wow, these are cool when I bought them, and I never use them. I've tried them on photo paper and stuff like that too. But I love how these turned out. It's like camouflage, like camo and fun colors. You know, sometimes you see the little girls in the pink camo outfits. My daughter had some purple camo. But I love these. I think these are so cool, both sides. I think they're going to end up in my painted papers. Very cool though, and so fun. Oh, very liberating how these were created. Just dropping dots, and that it all looks good together. I love it. So those were some ideas. So thank you for those ideas, friends, that gave me suggestions after that last video. Also, what I found is making journals that are not no sewing necessary. So, and I know a lot of people aren't into sewing or, you know, the 3-hole pamphlet stitch type thing, you know, if they just, and these are like glued together books. So, and they're very similar to a snippets roll, only on a larger scale. And let me tell you where I got the idea from. Her name is Meg. The site that she works on is Meg Journals, and this is the No Sew Junk Journal. So if you find that, she made one for July of 2021. You can look that up. Meg Journals, the No Sew Junk Journal tutorial, and she also has a journal with me for July 2021. So very cool. She has a lot of fun journal ideas on her site. So check her out. But let me show you what I made. I made this one first. It was a night I couldn't sleep, you know. Ladies, we have those. I have a paper clip up here so I can remember what the front was going to be. And all it is, it's an accordion style journal. But as you work on it like this, and you add things to it on here. And this is just the beginning of this. I just made one, like I said, when I couldn't sleep. And it was so easy and so fun to put together, and uses up scraps, and you get to glue. And so it's a truly glue book. That's what I'm going to use it for. So, and then, you know, you've got as many pages as you want to put in it, and you flip it over and you've got the back side. And I used all kinds of things in here. Coffee dyed paper, book pages, graph paper, packaging paper, printouts that I didn't like, hymnal paper, some old scrapbooking paper, again, book pages. And then I added a few things here and there because that's like, I wanted to get started on it a little bit. And so it's just so much fun. I love all of it. I love how it feels and the fact that it folds open and shut. So I made one with my scraps that looked a little vintage. And then it's like, I've got my painted paper scraps. So this was last night when I couldn't sleep. So I got those out and I put those together, and oh, so satisfying. So satisfying. I'm going to have fun filling this up with pieces, and some of this stuff I might white gesso over just to tone it down a little bit. But how fun using up scraps and using up, and washi tape too. If you've got washi tape rolls that are almost done, not quite finished yet, I love this paper. I think I'll make some more of that someday when I get my jelly printer out. So anyway, had a lot of fun doing these. Oh my gosh, let's go the other way. Go the other way. This is paint pour pickup paper. Isn't that fun to say? Alliteration going on there. Some inspiration from Cat Hand right here. My jelly print. Dendritic. Printing, monoprinting. Messy pickup pages. Just so much fun to have all this stuff in here. And it reminds me of all the fun things that I can do, that I have done. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Look at all those colors that come through. And some of it's kind of ugly and some of it's just whatever, but how fun are these, right? And they're so easy to put together, and you can make them as big or as small as you want. Inside size wise, as you can see, these are not the same size. I didn't get all bent out of shape about size on these. If it was getting a little too, you know, when it was done, I just went through with my craft knife and my ruler, and I just made it straight. That's all I did. I just made it straight. Got it all lined up, made it straight. So yeah, these aren't any particular size or width. And oh, I'm just gonna have fun, like especially with my littles, my tinies, my tiny pieces. Those are gonna go great in these. I've got tiny pieces of painted paper, tiny pieces of vintage paper, and yeah, so great. Again, Meg Journals, No Sew Junk Journal. Check out her July. She's got a couple videos for July of 2021. So check her out. She's cool. No promo. She doesn't even know I exist, but you know, we like to give props to people who help us out. But what I am working on is, in my mini glue book this month, is I'm gonna do a vintage one. I haven't done a vintage one in a while, and I've been watching a lot of Pam at the Paper Outpost, and she does everything vintage, or she makes everything look vintage, and it isn't necessarily vintage. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I did a few pages in here already, just from my ephemera that I've had and I haven't used up very much of, or it's, you know, I've gotten away from the vintage in a way. So I kind of want to get back into that a little bit and have some fun with that. You know, that's kind of my roots. The vintage was part of what got me started in this. The vintage is so beautiful. And so I'm going to work a little more on this. In fact, why don't I just do a page or two right now? I got my glue stick ready. I got some scissors ready. And, oh, here, I brought out a few things that are fun to use on this in my stamps collection. I think I'll do something with my stamps today. Oh, and I also made myself a little list of what I can put in this thing. And you know, my doilies, which I can't find anywhere, and I've torn my craft room kind of apart looking for them. I don't know where my pack of doilies are. That's really disappointing. But music and fabric and clusters and borders and belly bands and a lot of these things I have already set aside in like a box, just waiting to be used. I've got a ton of vintage journal cards and the fabric clusters and clusters, you know, made with paper. You have lace and vellum, not vase and lellum. Washi tape, book pages, any kind of stamping, some quotes. I have that new book of quotes that I got the last time I went on a thrift store binge. Watercolor stuff, distress ink, any ephemera that I have in my ephemera folder, stamps, stitching. Hand stitching is nice, and I can also get out my sewing machine. Stamped words, and then napkins, the fibrous paper, you know, the mulberry paper, journaling cards, stencils. So I just wanted to get my ideas going. I took out one of my old books and my old, let's see, one of my, okay, let me think a second here, distract myself. I looked through my old vintage flavored, if you will, junk journals that I started with just to get some ideas, because in the beginning, I did everything in them. I put in everything in them, stitching and papers, coffee dyed, avocado dyed. I went a little bit nuts. So that was something fun that I did. And I went back and looked at some of the ideas. I didn't want to leave things out, but I'm really sad I can't find my doilies. Really sad I can't find my doilies. So I took out here's my vintage ephemera folder, and it has this I put this together myself, and it's got a little bit of everything in there. Pocket ledger stuff. This is an old farmer's pocket ledger, and it is unattached, but this is going to be a little book of some sort sometime down the road, right? And just bags of tags and other things that are vintagey. I made some of these a long time ago, so I want to put some of that in. These are fun little tag strips that I made. I really liked making these. I put stamps on them, and you know, they'll go in little tiny tucks, little tiny places. Yes, like those little surprises we get in junk journals and vintagey junk journals. So yeah, this is just full of my stuff. I want to use this. Let's pull that up. That might be fun with some stamps. I have some journaling cards from Creative Memories, and here's a bunch of old pictures that were free printables on I don't even know what site. And I do have a small problem. My MacBook Air has all of my free printables on it, and I need to transfer them over to Google Drive, because I can't access them unless I'm using my MacBook Air, and I know that it's getting full and it doesn't have a lot of space in it. So yeah, I've got a lot of different things in here that I can use. Stuff from Somerset Studio Magazine. I mean, how pretty is that? So yeah, and it's kind of vintagey. you know. I've got this beautiful thing, but it's not gonna happen in this journal. So anyway, I did bring this out, and here's some Tim Holtz splattered in here. I bought one thing of Tim Holtz long time ago. So a lot of little things for focal points. And these are fun, aren't they? Little appliques, teddy bears. He's cute. Let's see. Yeah, I could definitely use these. And these would be fun in my art journal too, because they're brights. They're brights. Yep. Some book pages and flowers and some other things. So yeah, this is one of my folders for junk journaling that's a vintage style. I also brought out some other things, and so just some scraps that are vintagey scraps too, so I can use that. And this is just one of those roasting tins. I use those quite a bit, and it's off to my side here, and then I can use that as I see fit, feel the need. That's pretty. I see a white strip on that edge. I'm gonna trim that off. I'm going to use my large Creative Memories paper trimmer here. I have a small one too, but I think for this one, the blade is newer, so let's see. Let me see. How well did I cut that? Oh, that's pretty. And I like the words peeking through. Oh, that'll be pretty. So, double-sided tape, I think, with vellum. And if it's a larger sheet, I think double-sided tape is something that works really well with vellum. It won't wrinkle. And this was a free printable, probably from, I don't even know. Let me think. You know, it's been a long time since I've printed anything off, so I can't tell. If I find out, I will write it in. I will write it in for you if I find out what it is. Okay. But yeah, I went on a free printable kick there for a long time, and filled up my computer, unfortunately. And it's a 2012 computer, so it's getting kind of old. So all that fun stuff I had on there is going to disappear eventually, because I have cleaned this computer off and it just doesn't have the storage capacity that I need. I started doing my videos with it and back in the day, and it just didn't have the capacity. So I got myself an iPad, as per my sister's suggestion, and it has a ton of capacity, but the program for making videos isn't as great, but I make it work. It all works. So that's an easy fix for that page. Lovely. And what else do I have? Got a poem. That would be fun. Could I ride but indefinite as doth the meadow be, and visit only where I liked, and no man visit me, and flirt all day with buttercups, and marry whom I may, and dwell a little everywhere, or better run away. Okay, I could do this and put little bees. I've got bees. Let's see. I like this paper though. I don't want to use up all of it, because this kind of paper is great to put words on and then add that as an embellishment. And I can put a stamp and a bee, one of these stamps, and then a ink bee stamp. That's gonna go in the scrap box. Yeah, this was a book from, it was a children's poetry book. And, oh, she's a famous person too. I can't think of her name either. Okay, we're gonna judge this up. ink it up a little. And here's my distress inks, and I like to store them upside down as per one of my followers, Subby's suggestion, which made so much sense to me. So much sense. So thank you for that, whoever you were. Appreciate that. I love all the ideas that people have and that we share in this wonderful community. So sweet. Everybody is so nice. And I'll leave that there, and I just might use my other ones too. And let's go behind. Get a little bit. One thing that's fun about these, you don't have to worry too much about getting it on another page. So, I'm just kind of messing. Being a mess. It's like a messy journal. Just having fun. Just gotta be careful not to rip that pages. I thought about dunking the whole thing in coffee, but that might have been a little too much. So I'm going to use several of nature's people I know, and they know me. I feel for them a transport of cordiality, but never met this fellow, attended or alone, without a tighter breathing and zero at the bone. Oh, I think that's about a snake. Yeah. It was a children's nature book, and it was fun, a little bit about that one book. She had her daughter or her niece, I think it was her niece, would come to visit, and they would go and hang out outside and just observe nature and make up funny little poems about them all, about the animals that they saw or the plants and things that they would come in contact with. Mostly about animals in this book, but it's all about nature. Yeah, it was a pretty book. That was one of the books that I got from the school I used to work at, and they were getting rid of things and setting them all out on a table for free. Yeah. And a book about poetry. Yeah, you don't walk away from that. No. So I said my bees. Here's my miniatures. I've got butterflies. Whoops. There's ladybugs. I just got these not too long ago from Michael's. There's my bumblebee. So, and let's get a flower stamp. I don't think I have a buttercup. However, I do have, what's the closest one of these to a buttercup? Maybe this? That's a sunflower. I said something else too, didn't I? What did I say? I don't remember what I was going to do elsewise. Oh, stamps. I was going to maybe put some stamps on it too. Do I have any stamps that have a flower on them? That's a thing. It doesn't look like it. Hockey. Could use hockey. So set that aside. Let me look in here. Oh, wow, I love how these look. Just everything about them. They're so, the colors, the oldness of them. An airplane. I'm not going to use that anytime soon, but who knows? Who knows? It could come upon me someday. What's that? What's that red one? That's a flame. Oh goodness. Republic of Frieden. Oh goodness, love, 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 love. Those are so pretty. What is it about stamps? All right, any florals in here? A lot of people, lots of people. Oh, this could go into with that stamp from the airplane stamp. And then Doesn't look like I have any nature stamps. Now this would be an opportunity for me to make some nature stamps out of some of the book pages that I have for my garden journals, my garden book. Not journals, but you know. So I guess I will use this, and I think I'll just use vintage photo. This is a Stampin' Up thing I've had for a long time. Just scrap. I think I missed it by a mile. And it's two-sided. I mean, as far as it's got a bud side and a, oops, oh man. Wet wipe. It's like Dora, backpack. You have the wet wipes. Let's see if I can get one more. Fun. Okay. And wipe it off. Wipe it off, Liz. Good. Talking to myself. Nobody else does it, I'm sure. And a bumblebee. I'm going to put it close down here and then maybe add something up on the top up there. Oops. Okay, so what about a strip of paper? No, let's go lace. Or ribbon. Yeah. Yeah, this is my ribbon container that is filled with bits and pieces. Not very vintagey. Ooh. No, I like the pink, but ooh, gold. Ooh, I like the gold a lot. That's pretty. Gold, and let's give it a layered look with something else. What else? That's too wide. Got a shoelace in here. I've got denim in here. Bra straps. String. I like this chunk here. Oh, this was an attempt at a bookmark, and it's falling apart. Oh, what's this? This would work. And did you ever get a blanket that had ribbon all the way around it with Velcro ties, or a sheet set or something to that effect? And yeah, I've gotten several ribbon pieces from that, from things like that. And fabric tack. You know what? Let's do a fun, let's see, I need to go this way. Make it like a side flag, like that, to start. Oh, this, I'm doing this. Cover up your ink, cover up the ink. I'm gonna pull back the camera a little bit. Oh boy, I'm making a mess already. Doesn't take much, does it? Doesn't take much. Okay. There's that. In my early journals, there's so much glue marking on things. You can see glue going through stuff and glue just everywhere. See, one of these sides is shinier than the others. There we go. So it's, yeah, I went a little nuts with the glue. So the quality of my first journals isn't the best. The spines are super stiff. At least it's staying together, that's for sure. Because I, overcompensated for the glue. Because I wanted to make sure it wouldn't. That's fun. Can I put a little bit of something down here too? Maybe. Just so. Do another flag-like end on here. Trim it a little. It's just a little too long. There we go. Roberta, run away. I tell you, this glue is really awesome. At the same time, super sticky. But if you want something to stay, that'll be the thing. And if I wanted to, I could get some colored pencils and go in there with that a little bit. I mean, have fun. It's just something simple, something fast that I can do to just use up some of my scraps too. These are great for that. And so I'll be working on this as the month goes on, and maybe I'll do some videos with it, or I'll just show you, flip through at the end. So, but yeah, just some fun getting back into my favorites, dusting off some of the old things that I had from my vintage, in my vintage days that I haven't used in a while. So that's kind of fun, like my stamps. Yeah, definitely. All right, you guys, that's it for today. Love you guys, and I hope you're having a great day and finding what gives you art-trinsic value. Today, for me, it's vintage. And yeah, love you guys. Take care, and as always, God bless. Bye-bye.